Is a 5-year-old digital camera still worth buying? A look at EM10 Mark II. Hi there, I'm PeterForsgard, an Olympus visionary and a professional photographer from Helsinki, Finland. Let's get right into the business. Why this camera and why now? Well, the main reason is the price. The price of this camera has gone down quite a bit lately, and that's why I think it was a very good time to see if this camera is still valid, because as I said, it's already 5 years old. But let's first look at some images that I took today with this camera and the kit lens 14 to 42mm 3.5 to f5.6 electronic zoom lens. Those images, as I said, were taken today when I took a small walk during the day. And I'm really lucky here in Finland because we can have walks and we can go out. No, not really strict restrictions. The only restrictions are that we cannot have really big gatherings. So walking by myself with my camera is totally okay. And as you saw, the image quality, there's nothing wrong with the image quality. It's still very good. And the only problem might be if the images are not good, it's about me, because it usually is the photographer, not the camera. Next, we will look at the specs of this camera. And the other features that the camera has, and what's good about Olympus cameras, that most of the cameras have all the latest features. They don't really restrict. Maybe some things might be restricted because of the processor. But this camera has all the bracketing features, multiple exposure, focus peaking, live comp, keystone comp, whatnot. I think it's packed with features, so that's not going to be one of those things that you might not want this camera because of the features. And also, this camera is very customizable. There are 7 customizable buttons in this camera where you can set all different kinds of features, those that you need and feel that are handy to be on exactly on that particular button. And the 8th one is if you have the Pro lenses with LFN button. So maximum of 8 customizable places to set your favorite features. I think that's a good thing. What about the usability in other ways? I already mentioned the customizable buttons, but there's one thing about the customizable buttons that I did not mention yet, is that you can also set My Sets to one of those customized buttons. And that's a really good thing, because then you might have some special features or special camera settings for different kinds of images you're making. Let's say you're making street photography, you might have different settings for street, and then you might do some portraits and you might have some different settings for that, and you can store them in My Sets and recall them from a button. That is really a cool thing, because it doesn't have any customized modes in the mode dial. So in that way you can use a button to recall those custom modes. That's a really good feature. For my hand, the camera is a bit too small, but it's usable. It's a good thing, because like with the electronic zoom lens, you can fit it in your pocket easily, no problem at all. And then if that feels a bit too small, you can also get the extra grip for it, or the additional grip, ECG3 I think it is, and it's still available. So that might make the camera a bit better to hold. And it's nothing, not a problem with smaller lenses, but if you put a Pro lens there, then it might be a bit unbalanced. But the good thing is that all the M.Zuiko Pro lenses are also good with this camera, like with all micro four third mount lenses. So that's also a good thing. You have a huge amount of lenses to choose from if you need more lenses. Well, who is this camera for then? I would say a casual photographer who wants to upgrade from a mobile phone. And yes, it is a better camera than a mobile phone. Here is a comparison. As you can see, you can get a lot better results with the OM-D E-M10 Mark II than with the iPhone 11 Pro. Or then it's a perfect body or extra body. If you have some other Olympus cameras or other micro four third cameras, this is a perfect backup body. And also a main camera for travel and street photography because it's nice and small and it's easy to carry around. But remember, getting a new camera does not make you a better photographer. With the features and with the easy usability of a real camera will make it easier for you to become a better photographer. So remember always that buying new gear doesn't automatically make you better, but it will help you to be better. Remember that. That's an important thing to remember. What do you lose if you choose a 5-year-old camera? Well, that depends on what you need. This camera has 16 megapixels, the new one has 20 megapixels. And this is not weather sealed like EM5 Mark III and other newer like the EM1 Mark II and III are. And the stabilizer is only 4 stops, which is plenty. And it won't hold you back. Of course, 5 or 6 or even 7.5 is better. But 4 is plenty for most of us. And no 4K video. So if you need 4K video, then EM10 Mark III could be a better option for you. But most of us are totally happy with Full HD, which this camera can shoot. As you can see from this short clip, nothing wrong with the quality. Well, then the conclusion. As I said, the price of this camera is very good. It's almost half what you need to pay for EM5 Mark III. So that's a good reason to consider this camera if you don't want to pay for the EM5 Mark III and do not see that the benefits that the camera can give you. And as I said, getting a better camera or a new camera won't make you automatically a better photographer. It's all about you. But of course, if you have good gear, it makes it easier for you to be better. That's for sure. And I would say that getting the EM10 Mark II is really wise because, as I said, it's really good priced. And so is the EM10 Mark III, which has a bit differences. And I do have some videos about these that you might want to look. And you can watch them from there. There are lots and lots of videos about these two cameras. So if you want a small camera and don't want to pay a huge amount, then EM10 Mark II is a very good option for you. Stay safe and thanks for watching. Bye for now.